Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. How are things? Thank you for joining today. We are going to be back in Pilot Edge. And I think I will be running out of the trial period, so I will have to pay for it. But it's going to be worth it. So how's everyone doing? Who did I see in chat? We have Tom, very active. Lots of suggestions. Thanks for those. We'll see if we can squeeze those in within our current itinerary. Hey Patrick. Hey PDX. How are things going, guys? How's the GTNXi treating you, PDX? Or should I say Cascade? Hey Ising. Good evening, good morning. Whichever it is, right? How are you doing? Patrick, 27 months. Goodness. All the streak. All in a streak. Thank you, man. Thank you for the resub. Appreciate it and appreciate the company. Hey, Falover. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Big fan. They're quite responsive in their Discord. Yes, I saw your questions with TDS. I saw their replies. Glad to hear that it's working out for you too. The PMS. Yeah, true. Yeah, same here. All the little details on the map, right? It just adds so much. The user interface, the details you see, it really feels real. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, the airspace, notifications and whatnot. That's actually why I got enough courage to get into Pilot Edge, because I know that I have the right information. I know that I'm not missing out on any crucial information. So in that sense, at least I am able to know if I should report in. If not, then all that's left to do is really practice the phraseology, know what I need to do. But in terms of information, I have everything I need. Thanks to the GTNXi. Yeah, the weather info, I really hope that comes into. Yes. So we don't need a separate menu for it. Separate app. Speaking of separate app, unfortunately, it seems like Sky Vector is down. I'm not sure if you guys use that, but I use that a lot recently because of the VFR sectional charts. And it's down. It's been down for a few hours at least, as I've been trying. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll have those detailed sectional charts. Yeah, so we'll see later. Yeah, see, it's down. Dang it. But we do have a backup. So we do have Little Nav Map and the VFR sectional charts in Little Nav Map. So in case you guys haven't noticed, we've actually been slowly but surely traveling all the way to the west. We started in Boston area. I believe that's somewhere here, right? In Boston, the East Coast. And we've been going south and west mainly. And we are actually now here on this side. We're now in New Mexico. And I believe we'll be crossing over to Arizona soon in this flight. You can see the nice transition of the landscape in there, from the lush green terrain, starting with the deserty mountainous areas in here. Quite nice. Quite nice distinction. Yeah, that's true. Who did sub? Did someone sub? Someone did. Hey Champlain, thank you for subbing. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fine. Hey, that's interesting. Hey, Gunny. How have you been, man? It's been a while. Thanks for joining. Sky Vector works for you? Oh, interesting. Yes, that's... Can you guys help me out? Can you guys check out skyvector.com if you can access it? Maybe it's something... Okay, PDX is working. Sky Vector is working for you too. That might be an Asian thing. Some DNS problems. I don't know. Dang it. Is there another way I can log into Sky Vector, like the IP address or something? Anyone have ideas? Because I really want Sky Vector, because if I zoom in, so we are near Farmington. Farmington in New Mexico. That's near the border, and actually in this flight that we're going to do right now, we are going to pass through the Four Corners, where there is supposedly a monument, although I don't know if that's in the sim, but it's literally the intersection of all 4 states, right? Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. So there is that area there. I want to fly over there, and basing on this sectional chart, there is no airspace, there is no limitation, so we should be able to fly over there without a problem. Don't even need to talk to anybody. And just a little bit more to the west, if we trace through this body of water here, this is Lake Powell, looks like, is actually already the Grand Canyon, where I recently learned that flying through here in real life is possible, but it requires a lot of different special rules to be accommodated. So you can see all the warnings in here, and there are specific maps for it that are available in Sky Vector that are not here in Little Nav Map. So I need Sky Vector if we want to fly over in this area. So that's a bit of an interesting problem. Maybe later it will be okay now, I'm not sure. It's mostly westbound we flew, and south is mainly just because that's where the job took us. So all throughout, well, most of the stuff, I've been using the SkyPad. You guys must be familiar with this now. If you're not, this is the app. That's SkyPad. A separate app that adds an economy system. So we've been, so you can see the bank balance and the experience has been climbing, because that's when we started our trip from the east to west. So I've been doing jobs then, and we have this right now. This is the trip that I have plotted in the map. Navajo Lake to, I think, Kayenta is this trip right here. Right? So let's hide that in here for now. New Mexico to Arizona, both of your home states. Nice. That is amazing to hear, David. Thank you for joining, by the way. Log in with a VPN. Well, I can't do that right now while streaming. Although I can do that in one browser. I do have the Opera browser with a built-in VPN. Let's see if that works. Sky Vector. Yeah, that works. So yes, it might be due to regional constraints. Dang it. Let me try another. No, I also tried another browser. It doesn't work. Okay. Might have to get creative in here. We'll see how we can make it work. Regedit. Yes, I'm using it now actually. Yes, that's a very good point. So if you guys are encountering the low frame rate issues in MSFS, especially if you are having that issue after a couple of hours of playing, you know, in the beginning it's okay, and then as time goes by, the sim slows down and slows down more. There is a fix, or a supposed fix, in the forums which might help you. I linked it in the Discord. It might just work. It might just work. So we'll see. DCS. Nice. Right. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with DCS. I've never tried it. I'm not very much into military aircraft. Yar, Jack. How are things going? How was the hunting session? Yeah. That command has been disabled thanks to trolls. Anyway, let's load up, and we'll have Pilot Edge in here, so it can be as realistic as possible. It's fun flying, exploring, using real life rules. You know, not just flying around randomly. Like really knowing the rules and following the rules if there are any. It's nice to be able to do that, and with Pilot Edge we can do that. We can actually speak with air traffic controllers when necessary. So here, these two airports are uncontrolled. You can see by the color of the airport, they're red or magenta, however you call that, purple, as compared to a blue airport like this, which is towered. So these are actually mostly advisory frequencies that we'll be tuning in. That is, we'll be announcing our intentions. We're taking off, departing this direction. But there's no real person on the other side, no tower frequency, so to speak. Right? So we're not being limited or controlled in that way from these airports. But we will be actually passing through a class Delta in here. You see the broken lines, the blue broken lines, and then this 80 with the brackets. That means this area is a class Delta airspace. From the surface up to 8,000 feet is what that means. But we'll be flying around 10,500. So technically, we should be able to fly over it and still not need to speak to anybody. We'll see though if the tower frequency there has different ideas. Maybe I understood it wrong. And then if so, then that will be a learning opportunity. Yeah, but the plan is, yes, to go through this route, but as well, maybe do a stop like here. And I want to showcase something because I've been working with Tiberio from TDS directly, the makers of the GTNXi. We've been trying out some fixes, guys, and some fixes are coming, and I'm happy with them. The autopilot, the holding patterns, you know, the bugs that we've seen. So far from what I see, they've all been fixed. So we can try that out here and do other tests. And if all goes well, hopefully that will be released soon for everybody. But yeah, I've been working with them. I've been like beta testing with them to help iron out the bugs. So yes, they are very responsive and very cooperative. Good. Flagstaff. Where is Flagstaff in relation to this map? Might be able to help me there, David. Let me see. Is that somewhere to the south? This one, right? Flagstaff, KFLG. Yeah. We could pass through it. That is a class Delta airspace again. You can see the broken blue lines, right? And then you have this is the telltale sign, this bracketed number in here. So that's a class Delta airspace. So we can land there later on. So from Kayenta over here where we're going, we can jump onto that one next. So that's a possibility, yes. Cool. All right, so let's load up the sim and let's see how we tackle this. 568 hours now. By the way, has anyone tried the updated Kodiak 100? There have been updates. Shiprock, Cliff Palace, Mesa Verde, Monument Valley. I'm trying to look for the landmarks. Sentinel Mesa. So many here in this area. Maybe we can explore this area, huh? It's only north of Kayenta. And the Four Corners Monument should be somewhere. Not sure here. Let's have a look at the map again. Four Corners here in this map is there. Around 1/4 of the way, or 3/4 of the way. A little bit to the north. So maybe somewhere here. So even closer to Kayenta, we have all these mesas. Yeah, maybe we can fly over that and see. Cool. Hey, Stimo. Pilot Edge is going great. We're going to log in again soon. How's it going, Jack? Have the pedals arrived? I remember you ordered some nice pedals. Is that mainly for racing? Right, let's do my local time around 8 something a.m. Looking good. If anyone wants to fly with me, I think we can combine Pilot Edge and all players. So if you guys want to fly with me, more than welcome to. Just join us in the Southeast Asia server and load in Navajo Lake 1V0. 1 Victor 0 is the ICAO code of the airport. It's pretty high in terms of altitude. I think it's 6,000 feet above mean sea level. So it might require a bit more longer runway. Oh crap, this always happens. I don't really know why. But yeah, this happened also last time, right? If it hangs at this point with this, let's like semi-grade area, it will not push through. And I have not been able to isolate what is causing that. Oh man, that sucks. Okay, that means I have to end the task there. And we have to actually restart the sim. That means we'll have to wait again. Oh my goodness. Maybe in the meantime I can try to make it to Sky Vector work. Let's try that again. Okay. Not yet. There's some customs office. Ah, I see. By Thursday. Cool, man. Cool. First Master Motas. Yeah. It's going to be a great start. Sing a song. Everyone might run away if I do that. The base has rust. Some of the stick access knob do not center correct. Yikes. Maybe that's not a totally new unit you got, huh? Right, let's see. Try to make it Sky Vector work here again. Why doesn't it work? Let me see if I can do something in the meantime. Might be with my DNS settings. With my internet provider. Up. Let's load up the map as well. There you go. Okay, I did find a website for Sky Vector, an IP address. Let's see if that works. No, I don't think so. Yeah, it seems like they're blocking Asia, which is weird. That's pretty crappy. Yeah, it doesn't work. So it looks like I can use Opera at least. Yeah, this one works pretty well. Okay, let's go with this one. This has more details in there. Okay. That same size, probably. Alright. Very weird. I wonder what they did. I wonder if it has something to do with like the sanctions or getting away from the region. And Asia got caught in the crossfire. I have no idea. Or probably just happenstance. Okay, so that's the flight. 259 degrees, 124 miles, nautical miles. There's the four corners. And here's Grand Canyon. I've been watching Fabio doing this one. There is actually a special, if you look here, it will say Grand Canyon VFR aeronautical chart. Yeah, VFR flight through the Grand Canyon Special Flight Rules Area SFRA is not authorized except through designated corridors. Pilots intending to fly within this area should refer to the Grand Canyon VFR aeronautical chart for detailed information. So there is a special chart for this when you're flying, and it's activated using this button. Thankfully, it's integrated in Sky Vector as well. So that's how it looks. Yeah, the actual chart for Grand Canyon. because apparently there are special rules where you cannot fly over these red areas, basically. And whenever you are in a specific area, you have to monitor a certain frequency. Like for example here, when you're on this side, you have to monitor this frequency, 120.05. And then there are some other limitations, altitude limitations, corridor limitations, and all that stuff. So if we want to fly through there, we can, but we have to follow this. But we're not there yet. We're still over all the way here. So let's start things off one step at a time. And let's see first if the sim will even load. Let's see. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Just the timing itself. Let's change. Hopefully this time it works. Hey Snippet. Thanks for joining. Sorry about that, Gunny. Nightbot is very vicious when it comes to links. AirNav. Oh, AirNav. What is AirNav? I haven't tried that before. Airnav.com. Does that also contain charts? Right, yeah, we can use that as an alternative. Thank you. I'll explore that. 1 second, let's maybe hide that thing. There you go. That should work better. So still in the trusty arrow, guys. Loving this plane. Just feels like the perfect combination of old school with modern avionics, right? Steam gauges and with the modern avionics combination. It's amazing. And just go through the motions in here. Everything looks good so far. Mixture is lean. Magnetos are off. Battery, let's turn that on. Oh crap, yeah, I mapped it now to my honeycomb. Because apparently you can keep the avionics off using a separate button. Like there is no actual avionics on or off in the virtual cockpit here, but you can map a key to avionics on and off in the controls, and I map that to my buttons here in the honeycomb, so I can turn the batteries on with still having the avionics off, which is how it should be anyway, right? That's why it says here avionics should be off. Fuel quantity is a bit lower than usual. Let's maybe fill it up, maybe 50%. Should be more than okay. Looking good. And then what we can do is open the door. Start loading up the guys here. Begin. So I'm just looking at SkyPad in here. Cotton sewing thread is what we're loading apparently. It's just a nice excuse to fly. Hear the nice sound effects. Let's load it up, maybe 200 pounds of cotton. Cotton sewing thread, that might be a lot. I don't know. Fills the back there. But yes, fuel quantity looks good now. Annunciators are okay. Let's turn off the batteries again. Good. Support page, it says at status. Hey, which one is that? Sorry, Steve, I missed the context. No 146 yet. Yeah, it's also waiting for it. They said April, I think. Yeah, probably end April. Probably. Close that up and latch it. Flight controls are looking good. They correct. Right, left. Looking good, yes. Rudders are working. Alright. Flaps as well. Love the subtle sound effects of this plane. I can never get enough of this. Elevator trim is looking good. And the exterior walk around, that's the only thing. It's not really simulated, is it? So just skip through all of those now. I think even the oil quantity is not working anymore. It's always full. Before it kind of trickled down and you had to refill it at some point. But now it's always 8 quarts from what I see. Fullest tank, left tank. Start the engine. Open 1/2 inch the throttle. Let's turn on our battery and alternator. Keep the avionics off for now. Turn on the beacon. Nav lights as well. Some panel lighting. How cold is it outside? It's pretty comfortable. Maybe we can keep the window open for now. Clear prop? No, not yet. Let's pump it first. Fuel pressure, mixture full, fuel pressure goes up, fuel flow goes up. Couple of seconds to prime the engine. That looks good. Right now, clear prop. Clear prop. Good. And since we are pretty high up in elevation, I think I should not actually go full rich on the mixture. We'll have to find that sweet spot later. Sure thing, sniff it. Nice. Wow, how long did that take, Mark? Awesome. Plane looks like mine. Are you also using the gray interior? It's very nice. Clean gray interior from the flightsim.to. Oil pressure looks good. Oil temperature is still cold. That will fix itself later. 1500 looks good. Now we can turn on the avionics. Clear prop. Yeah, that's the loudest clear prop I can manage. Pilot Edge is always available within the... So Pilot Edge website shows you the details of the operating hours and the coverage area. But within those operating hours, which is I think, is it 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time? Something like that. There are always controllers because the controllers are professional. They're literally paid to be there. So the availability is 100% within that coverage time and area. That's what I like about it. So you will not have that instance where you're ready to go and then suddenly the controller logs off. The only disadvantage is, yes, it's limited to mostly the West Coast.
TOS system test okay.
Looks good. All right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what VDX said. Thank you. Avionics are on. Radios, it said that. I think over here, frequency 122.9 for Unicom, Multicom. And then, I wanted to tune into center. And one thing, let me know if you guys have a better way of doing this. But what I found is if I go to the low IFR map, not sure if this is applicable in the entire world, but I see these stamps here. Yeah, these stamps, and I think that's the center frequency. It is Denver, Farmington sector, and that's 118.575. Over here it's the same. And then over here you actually see the same stamp border, but it's the separation of Denver and Albuquerque center sectors, I guess. Yeah, so over here you already have Albuquerque and then the center frequency. I think that's one way of doing it, and that looks like a very easy way. So 118.575. Let's see if that works. 118.575. Yeah, indeed, Denver ACC. Okay, good. So that looks good. Radios are set. 1 to 1.5. We want to always monitor that. 1 to 1.5 is the ground guard frequency, I believe. I think in real life pilots always monitor that because that's for emergencies. If they need to contact someone, if they lost all comms, or if someone needs to contact them if they're going to breach an airspace, so we always have to monitor that. Transponder is for VFR. It's already set that to altitude reporting on the ground. Yeah. Altimeter setting. So over here, let's have a look at the chart again. World VFR. So if you look, Navajo Lake, this airport we're at, is actually 6478 in elevation. And if you look, the nearest one is probably this guy, Durango. 3018 would be the altimeter, and the winds are coming from the west. Same here, winds are coming from the west, 3014, 3018. So somewhere in between there would be the altimeter we're looking for. 3014 is that one, 3018 is like this. And what is the field elevation we're expecting? 6478. Yeah, so we can match that. 6478 would be something like this. So it's around 3012 probably, something like that. Good. Something like so. Good. Hey Frackle, thanks for joining. Let us know if you're looking for a specific mod. Maybe we can help. Altimeter is set. Heading will be departing from runway 24 as the winds are from that direction. Let me just verify that. If you go to the home screen, you should see some wind, yeah, coming from the west indeed. So runway 24 is what we'll be using. Runway 24 on the heading, and the course will not be there yet because I haven't plugged it in yet. So 0 Victor 7 Cayenta exactly. Let's plug that in here as well. Just for completeness sake. And maybe I should log into Pilot Edge already, huh? To get that nice radio communications. Alright, so course would be 259. So let's set that here. By the way, apparently there's also an automatic way. If you've seen me in previous flights, I normally have to change this one, the HSI, right? The CDI rather. You have to manually change this whenever the track changes, the desired track there. You have to match the CDI here. Apparently there is an automatic way of doing that. I have not tried it before, but I think if you go to the settings here of the GTNXi, there are settings, unit 1. I think it's this one. Connect GPS to VOR number OBS. I think it's this one, maybe. So you have to auto slew. So you have to check that, and I think you have to set it here, and then it will automatically adjust. But for me personally, I like to manually adjust it. Just makes it me feel more manual, more old school. So I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, I just saw it there too. Yeah, I learned so many things in the Discord. Doing good, Frackle, doing good. Thank you for joining the stream. Sorry for the delayed response. I'm often like this, unfortunately, because I am getting my brain is getting filled with the workload. Alright, let's try to connect. See if that works. November 4131 Charlie, Papa 28 Romeo, yes. Oh, that's a bit tricky. Goodness, maybe it's my internet connection, I don't know. But it seems like even Pilot Edge is not connecting. Well, that's going to be pretty crappy. A forklift truck stuck inside my plane. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I think there is something wrong with my internet connection, guys. How do we do this? How do I connect? This is not working. Can I also use this for it? I'm not sure. I can try. Going to be very tricky. Let's try that again. Is Pilot Edge up? Maybe let's check first. Maybe it's down or something. It is online. Yeah, that might not be good. Let's try one more time. If it doesn't work, then crap, we might have to do that manually. You posted a photo in Discord? Okay, let me have a look. Yeah, that doesn't look comfortable. There we are. Cool. Right, let's try one more time. Nope, that is not working. What can we do? Well, what I can do, it won't be the best, but actually there is a way. It won't be ideal, but we can make it work. There is a way where we can actually connect to Pilot Edge just to hear the controller, hear the conversations. But we won't really be able to interact with them, which is a bit crappy. But if that's the only thing that's available to us right now because of these problems with the network, what is happening? Yeah, Asia always gets the short end of the stick when it comes to the connections. Yes. Alright, let's think about that later. Let's take off first. Maybe we can sort that out later, hopefully. But okay, anyway, most of the things will still be the same. Good. Let's release the parking brake. Test the brakes, yeah, they're good. And then the instruments we'll check later. Where is PDX? Right here, Cascade? Yeah, there he is. Nice. Awesome. Okay. So let's go ahead and face this way. And we'll do the ground check, the run up. Okay. Let's face this way. And now, I think what we need to do is I actually need to find the ideal mixture level. So I'll go to around 2500 RPM to really start stressing out the engine. Oil pressure, oil temperature looking good. Yeah, 2500, we can hear the engine starting to struggle. And then from there, let's play with the mixture, find that peak EGT. So I'm going to lean the mixture because we are very high in terms of altitude. We can't just go full rich, we have to find that magic spot. Alright, so I'm going to pull the mixture all the way until we reach that peak. And there's the peak, so that's going to be our optimal mixture level for this altitude. Nice, and with that we can now do the ground check. Yeah, shout things like a real bad ATC. We can simulate it, that's true. Hey Kevo, yes, I have great news for that. We can focus on that today. I've been working with TDS on that separately. They've been giving me test builds to test things with. They have doing some fixes, and so far everything seems to be going good. So we'll focus on that today, especially because I'm having trouble connecting to Pilot Edge. So yes, we'll see how that works. Looks good. Throttle, yes. Let's go and check the magnetos. Left looks good. Going back. Checking the right one. Minor drop in RPM, minor drop in fuel flow, but looks good as expected. Go to the left, right, left again. Alright, uniform. Good. Uniform drop on both mags. Vacuum gauge is around 4.9. All pressure and temperature in the green. Temperature has now warmed up. Ammeter, we have load on the battery. Annunciators are working. Propeller. Let's check if the governor is working fine. The prop governor is indeed able to adjust the RPM based on our setting. One more. Looking good. Alright. Alternate air is off. Fuel pump is off. Fuel pressure is good despite not having that electric fuel pump. Alright, let's now test for low revs. So let's pull back the throttle fully and see how low the RPM can go. It will be released soon, but yeah, they're still finalizing some bug fixes. So, and who knows, maybe we will find some more as we test this out here. Good. They also added a few pop-ups to make sure that people don't get the black screen. So they've been really thoughtful about all these things. Very nice. I'm really impressed. Right, so let's see. Battery switch, alternator, strobes, landing lights, fuel pump are all on. Fuel selector, that's my signal to start the timer in here. And over here would be to reset the scheduled switch fuel tank message. Every 15 minutes would be the timer. There you go. Engine gauges, we'll check that later right before takeoff. Mixture, it's not rich because of the altitude as I mentioned a while ago, but it is in the optimal power setting. Prop RPM lever is max RPM. Flaps are retracted. Yes. Rims are in the middle and cabin door is closed and latched. Okay, we are good. All right, so let's go ahead and announce this. Let's see. Okay, how does it go? Let me try and connect one more time to Pilot Edge just in case it works. Crap, I don't think it really works. All right, so let's announce on our own. Navajo Lake traffic, Arrow 4131 Charlie departing runway 24, back taxiing the runway 24, then departing to the west, Navajo Lake. Alright, good. Yeah, soon TM. Exactly. Final looks clear. Runway looks clear. Let's go ahead and back taxi, backtrack to get the full length of the runway. 24. Alright, and we'll test it later. We'll do some holds, we'll do some... Even the autopilot itself is so good now. If you guys remember from last week, past few weeks, the autopilot was super, like, always 30 degrees bank, right? Super aggressive. Didn't make sense. Even they fixed that even. So even the logic of how it intercepts a leg is smarter now. So they really tweaked it. Right. Unfortunately, Steamo, it looks like I am having trouble connecting to Pilot Edge. It might be the same problem why I cannot connect to Sky Vector. Must be my internet service provider, my ISP, having problems connecting to some US-based sites, which is pretty crappy. I'm going to have to check with them on that. But the network itself seems to be up, and you guys are able to access Sky Vector on your side, so it looks like a problem on my end alone. Crap. Yeah. Looking forward to getting into Pilot Edge. There's PDX right there. Alright. Good. Stop here. Checks. Gas. Yeah. Fuel pumps are on. Undercarriage. 3 greens. Flaps are retracted. Mixture is best power. Props are full forward and switches are on. Looks good. Alright. Oil pressure and temperature are in the green. Looks good. Takeoff power is set. Wind's coming right in front of us. PDX being a very responsible pilot, actually holding short on the runway there. Thank you for that. Airspeed's alive. The airspeed is building up very, very slowly because we're so high up, 6,000 feet up. 70 knots, look at that, we almost consumed half of the runway. Very gentle takeoff. Running out of runway, tap the brakes, positive rate. Gear up. Beautiful. Yeah, this is also why I wanted to take you guys with me along this ride, because the mountains, the terrain I've been flying over is quite impressive, to say the least. Yeah, my performance is definitely degraded over these altitudes. Look at how slow we're climbing. 500 feet per minute, even less. VPN to NA servers. Yeah, I don't have a separate VPN application, and I tried using my browser for it, but it's not working. So yeah, I might have to look into VPN, unfortunately, but I'm not happy with that actually, because VPNs normally can degrade a bit the bandwidth, right? Apply a right rudder trim here. Turn off the fuel pump. Turn on the automatic gear extension. Turn off the landing lights. Let's announce again. Navajo Lake traffic, Arrow 4131 Charlie departed the area to the west, climbing 10,500. Final call, Navajo Lake. Which one are you using, Tom? So for example, this one, if you want to test the autopilot now, I can just maybe go away like this, face totally away from the leg that we want to intercept, and then turn on autopilot, see how it reacts. Look at how gentle it turns now, right? It doesn't like just bank 30 degrees. It will now try and intercept that beautifully. That's one of the changes they did, and now they're doing this like standard rate turn. They're sticking to that standard rate turn. They're not using the entire 30-degree bank. They're following the standard rate turn, which is something I expect more. And now they're going to intercept that a lot more gradually, that leg. Beautiful. The current VPNs kill much. Oh, so the current VPNs don't do that anymore. That's good to hear. Yeah, most of them are paid though. I'll have to look at which solution would be the best. You guys have any recommendations? I see PDX on my left. Let's continue to lean the mixture here. We stay at this EGT for a climb. Private internet access, I see. Is that free? How much do you pay for it? I see. Right, I might have to explore that. Crap. Yeah, exactly. It's free, you're the product. That's a very good point, Frackle. That's a very good point. That's why I'm willing to pay as long as it's the service is worth it. But I really hope that I won't have to. That sucks, having to log into a VPN just to connect to something that I should have normally access to anyway. Let me lower the volume of the sim a bit. That one. Just a gentle buzz there. Paid but pretty inexpensive. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I would be more comfortable with that rather than if it's fully free. Yeah, that's the way it works, Tom. It's a very famous quote. If the product is free, then you're the product. There's Farmington, right? And if you see 8,000 in there, Four Corners Regional, Class Delta, only up to 8,000. We should be away from that actually. So I expect that area to gray out later on because we have the smart airspace functionality, wherein if you are outside a significant amount from the edges of that airspace, so if you're above 8,000, like I don't know what the threshold is, 2,000 feet above, I'm expecting this to gray out later on. But yeah, let's keep an eye on it. Let's see when it grays out. There it is, perfect. So if you're 2,000 feet above the edge of that airspace, it grays out so that you know that it's safe. You're not at risk of crossing over there. Very smart indeed. And you can activate that in the TDS GTNXi using the map setup. Go to airspace, smart airspace on. Very, very smart. I like it. 10,500, almost there. Let me start pulling back on the propeller in here. Go to 2200 for that very steady hum. Like so. Nice. Alright, now let's trim the plane. Pushing the nose just a bit forward. Stop the climb. And then we'll trim it here. Make sure it stays here. You can also start leaning the mixture. There's the new peak. We want to be 100 degrees rich of peak for our power setting. That's the one. There you go. Good. And that's you can see the power immediately shot up there. So we have to trim it down again. Hey Frackle, thank you for subbing, man. Appreciate the company. Appreciate the support. Glad you found your channel. You can fly without this thing now. I know, right? Exactly. That is exactly my point as well. Because of how great it is, I'm actually having a hard time flying other planes because I keep like, this doesn't just feel as great. Like even against the G1000NXi from working title, that feels so lacking now compared to what this GTNXi has, because this is based on the real Garmin trainer. There you go. Okay, looking good. Now we do want to try and tune into center, so let me log in there. But yes, I don't think I can log into Pilot Edge. I can try again. The only plane. Yes, glad to see that I'm not the only one with that problem. It's a very good problem to have, but yes, it is a problem. Yeah, I remember back during the time when we first saw the G1000NXi, right? We were like, wow, this is next level. And now, when we compare it, it's, yeah, so that means the sim is really stepping it up more and more. Yes, I prefer it. Mainly because the Bonanza is having the G1000 or G1000NXi if you have the mod. And as great as that is, as I mentioned, the GTNXi is just so much more feature packed, right? The map, the touchscreen, the airspaces, the smart airspace I showed, all those things, they add so much to the immersion. And even more with this plane, you get the best of both worlds with this plane, because if you look only here, you get the steam gauges, so you get that classic vibe, right? But if you want a bit high tech, then you just look to the right and you get the high tech. So you get the best of both worlds with a single plane. And if you're craving for something more classic, then you can always have focus on this one. It's a great combination. I really like that kind of, it feels so real, right? It's something you see often in real life YouTube videos from real pilots where they have their own plane and they upgraded their avionics. And yeah, they have steam gauges, but they have that GTN 750 or something. It just feels so relatable. Something that can be achievable. Yeah, a little bit old school controls. High-end GPS navigation, right? The only thing that this is lacking, in my opinion, is the vertical autopilot. It has the lateral, but no vertical. The best you can do is that cheat altitude hold button right here. But you can't really choose an altitude and make the autopilot go there. You have to climb there yourself. Used to have 530s in FS9. Nice. Yeah, I really like this. This is for me hands down the best plane in the sim. We're getting close to 15 minutes, so we should be switching tanks soon. And yeah, it has all those manual steps to keep you entertained. Switching fuel tanks, adjusting the CDI here whenever you're approaching a new leg. And if you want, you can automate those. There are options to automate those, just to get rid of those manual points. But that actually makes the experience a lot more immersive from my point of view. Farmington should be right below. We'll switch tanks and then we'll go outside and we'll look for it. We should get the indication here soon. Any second now. There it is. Switch fuel tanks. That's a scheduled message I programmed. Right tank. Looks good. Sounds good. Alright. This is the default. Oh, sorry. Default arrow. The arrow 3. Not the turbo one. This is the normally aspirated arrow. Oh, Gunny is here too. Thank you for flying with me, guys. It's a pleasure to have you in the same airspace. Alright, can we see Farmington? You guys see it? I do see something there. I do see a city. Oh, there's the airport. There's Farmington, guys. Yeah, there it is. Has some VASI lights, 2 runways, looks like. Very good. Although the satellite images are a bit uneven in this area, huh? They were taken at different times of the year, so there's that difference in the overall color. Still looks great. And yeah, over here you have, I think this is photogrammetry. I'm not sure. The way that looks, the trees and the buildings, very not standard looking. Nice. Picked it up when it first came out. Haven't flown it since you moved. Ah, yeah. Yeah, highly recommended. Alright, let me try logging in again to Pilot Edge just in case we get lucky. And otherwise, we can use the receiver. Because they have an application where you can just listen in. You cannot contact them, but you can listen in for free. Although I think the limitation is there will be no like radio effect. Normally when you speak, there will be that radio effect, right? So it sounds like a VHF. There will not be that. So they have this Pilot Edge receiver. Let me show you. It's an application. Although that being said, I'm not sure if I can also connect there. Maybe it won't even allow me. I can try. Did someone sub? Oh my goodness, Alex is here. 55 months! How are you doing, Alex? Goodness, 55 months. Thanks for making it to the stream. How's it going? For me right now, yeah, look at that. Even the receiver itself as a separate application cannot connect to Pilot Edge. Dang it, what's wrong with my internet? Like, I literally have been doing this like a day or two ago and everything was fine. So that is not the best. Yeah, looks like I'll need to look into a VPN. In case this happens again, at least we have a backup plan. So what I wanted to do is to go to the Four Corners monument. I'm not sure if you can see it from here. Maybe we can try. Maybe we'll see. Okay, I'm past it now. It should be right here. Oh, I think it's this one, right? Yeah, you have the state borders. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. You see at Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and you see the white edges. And when you zoom in, you can actually go to the actual point where that is. Although I don't see where the monument is, I'm not even sure if we can see it here. What is Technos Pos? You guys know what that is? But what we can do is something like this. You can create a user waypoint. Say it's a temporary one just for this flight. Right? It will mark it there, and then we can say create. So we have a user waypoint there now. And we can say, we can graphically edit our flight plan so that instead of going straight to the airport, we can say, maybe pass through there. Right? So now, the track is different. Actually, no, it hasn't changed yet because I have to activate the leg. So I have to activate this leg. There you go. Now you can see the CDI change, the OBS changed, and now the track is 271. You can go direct to the user waypoint. There you go. So that's the track 280. And this one I changed manually right here. There you go. And the autopilot takes us there very, very calmly. Hey, thank you, Soggy. Yes, guys, we reached 40k. Thanks to Alex for letting me know about that we have reached 40k subs in YouTube. I actually didn't notice initially. That's almost like a lot. almost. And yeah, Mrs. Clumsy was very proud of me. She even announced it on our personal social media pages. How did you get ahead of me? Yeah, I know, right? You're very fast. I'm traveling at only 119 knots on the ground right now. How's your airspeed looking? Maybe because I'm higher, I have more headwinds. The 3 and the 4 are turbo. The 3 and 4 are turbo, but there's a 3 that's also a normally aspirated one from the Arrow lineup, from the Just Flight lineup rather. So this one I'm using is the 3. That is the normally aspirated one, and we can tell by looking at this one. You can see the manifold pressure only goes up to 30 or 35 even, right? And normally you only go up to around 27. Sorry, I'm looking at something wrong here. Manifold pressure, yeah, it only goes up to 35. And normally if you go full throttle, open throttle, that's going to be the pressure outside. So it's like a 2.9 or 2, then you're going around 29 inches in here. So no turbo. You only get the pressure that is outside at most. Right. Yes, I have the Warrior as well. I don't often use it because it's a bit on the slower side, right? So when you're trying to go cross country, it takes a bit longer. But I've heard that in terms of accuracy, like the real joy of flying, many people are saying the Warrior is the best experience. So if you're only traveling around the city, traveling short distances, I think the Warrior can give you the best experience, the pleasure of flying and whatnot. Dreams in English? I don't think so. I don't recall. Yeah, I think I still dream in my native tongue, mostly. Yeah, I've heard about that as well, Kevo. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it does make sense. I did fly it a bit. It felt great. How about VATSIM? Is VATSIM live? Maybe we can log into VATSIM at least. Let's see. Maybe there is a controller here. And what I want to try to do, guys, is this user waypoint, right? I want to hold here and see how the hold will do. So if we do like a flight plan here, we can say insert hold, I think. Isn't it? Hold that waypoint. There you go. And here is normally it's going to be aligned with our current course, right? So our current course, we are on the east side here, and it's going to try and align that to the leg. So the inbound leg would be the same, and then the outbound leg would be the reciprocal. But we can change that. We can say if we want to hold north of this waypoint and do left turns, that's possible. So we can say what, outbound, maybe outbound, and then a 360, and it will draw it for you, right? So in this case, what kind of entry will that be? It's going to be a right turn, 360 outbound. So what kind of entry will that be? Maybe it's going to be a teardrop entry, I'm guessing. Could it be a direct? It looks too sharp. I would imagine it's a teardrop entry. Let's see if that works. Let's slow the hold and see the map, how it looks like. There's a mountain in front of you. Yeah, maybe you can go higher. So you can see now there's a hold there programmed. And then if you look at the map, you can see how that looks. Oh, it's actually a direct entry. I see. Interesting. So it's just going to go direct there and then join the hold. Are you guys okay with that? Do you want to try a teardrop entry maybe? Because if you want a teardrop entry, we can change the angle so that we force a teardrop entry. Teardrop? Okay, let's do that. Let's change the hold here. Edit hold. How do we know it's a teardrop? Maybe we can do it like that. So maybe instead of 360, we go, I don't know, 300. Something like that would be teardrop, I would imagine. Let's see, let's see. I'll get back to chat in a bit, guys. 1 second. Alright, that's teardrop. There you go. So we go straight, we just turn a bit to the left, and then it goes around like so, and then it holds like that. Let's see if it can follow that. We should be holding right over the monument somewhere. The Kit Fox. I actually have the Kit Fox. Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to fly it well. So you guys might know I have very slow reflexes. I'm not really built for the aerobatics, the advanced landings, the short takeoffs and landings. You know, those things that require adrenaline. I'm not very built for those kinds of things. So even though I want to showcase it, I'm not capable enough. But I've heard many people like it, especially those who are into bush trips, bush flying. For me, I'm more into these kinds of planes where you can really fly low and slow and take your time. No adrenaline needed. Let me see. Okay, no controller in VATSIM. Here we are. So here's what I'm looking at. Volanta. So this is where we are, right? And yeah, no controller in the vicinity, but we can still log in. At least we have some Unicom, right? Some chatter maybe, although I doubt we will get chatter. Yeah, the parallel 42 one. Ah, there you go. Yeah, that's more like it. Perfect example, Mark. Yes, exactly. So we should be getting to the waypoint in it's 25 miles from now. I'm not sure if there's an ETE. We can change this one. We can change that data field. Instead of showing the cumulative or the desired track, we can say ETE, estimated time en route. So this will say, yeah, 12 minutes to get there. Cool. 24 miles, 12 minutes. Makes sense? Because we're going 120 knots on the ground, which is 2 miles per minute. So if we're going 24 miles, it's going to be 12 minutes. Perfect. Okay, makes sense. We're climbing a bit here. 1 second. Pitch down. So I really want to log in to Pilot Edge. How do we connect there? Maybe I can try and post in Discord while we're waiting. Really fun for group flights. The visibility is amazing. Bush flying at its best, huh? How would you compare the feel of the Bush? Because we have other Bush planes, right? And I'm not really in a position to like gauge it. Okay, they do have tech support here. This might be somewhere I can get help from. Okay, I've just put in the message there just in case they have an idea. But I'm not very hopeful. The glass pans are awesome for sightseeing. What I've seen is if you like, there's a door right in the Kit Fox, you can open the door, but if you leave the door open and you accelerate, the door literally comes off. Nice touch. Alright, switch fuel tanks. 30 minutes, yeah, that checks. Turn on the fuel pump, double check. Yeah, it's time to switch to the left tank. Oh crap. We're good. Might have gotten clumsy hands there and extended the fuel tank all the way to the off position, so the engine died for a second. So that's how a bad engine sounds like. That's how it sounds like when you starve the engine. Okay, we're good. Floats pretty early. Almost feels arcade-like, but that is stall for you. Ah, I see. So it works so well. It flies so well. It flies so easily. It seems fake. I get what you mean. But that's really how aerodynamic it is. You hit the brakes too hard and the plane flipped forward. Yeah, that's the problem with tail draggers, right? Can't get too vicious on the brakes. I think it happened to me too at one of my test flights. Shiprock to the left. Is it that one you mean? That looks pretty unique. So let's go outside and see. That one? Goodness, that is very distinct. This touchy. You taxi with the door open, with your head hanging out. What, like a dog peeking out the window with the tongue out? Sounds fun. Hey Jack, Shane, thank you guys for following. Welcome to the channel. No one has replied yet in Pilot Edge. I'm not sure how fast they reply to tech support. But yeah, I guess it will not be instantaneous. I do have it at 200 right now, yes. So far it's working great, but I've only been flying in non-populated areas, basically. And so I'm not really pushing it. I think if I go to the cities, the photogrammetry heavy areas, my FPS will suffer immensely. And I might have to go back to 100 or 150. Let's double check what the altimeter here is. Well, we can do it this way. Not the most immersive experience. Oh yeah, Shiprock airstrip. Indeed. There's actually an airstrip there. 5 Victor 5, that's the one behind us. Or is that the town that Gunny was referring to, Shiprock? Was a mistake, yeah, the LOD. Right. driving with a smashed windshield. Yeah, true. Hey Shane, Jack, thanks for joining. Doing good. We're having a few problems with the network, unfortunately, so we're not connected to Pilot Edge right now. I cannot even connect to Sky Vector without a VPN, so I'm not sure what's happening with my internet connection. Thankfully, I'm still able to stream with you guys right now. But yeah, something seems awfully wrong with the connection today. And I'm not sure who to check it with. Maybe I'll reach out to my ISP. Must have messed something up with the DNS servers or something. Not very savvy with these things. So here is where we are. This is where we're headed, right? The monument. And the nearest airport is this guy, Cortez. So we can use the METARs here. 3016. Yeah, I guess that works. 3016. Like so. 3 clicks to the right. Let's do the same here. 1, 2, 3. That means we're a bit higher than usual. Let's go down a bit more. Thankfully, the winds are calm. We have headwinds in front of us, 17 knots, but at least it's not gusty. So we don't have to balance it so much. No mountains below, so no updrafts, downdrafts as well, so it's pretty calm. Very nice. Here we are, guys. We're getting closer and closer to the holding point. The real test, if the autopilot does work properly now again. Coming soon. Coming in 10 miles. So that's 5 minutes, right? So we're traveling 2 miles per minute. Hey, look at this. Who's this guy? Where'd you come from? Is that Gunny? My goodness, Gunny can outrun me, no problem. On a bonanza. I can't see the name because I think too near. If I go out a bit, will that work? No, I don't think I can see it. Try going out farther. No, I can't see. I think it's in relation to my actual aircraft position, the names, the name tags. Really cool. Take a photo there. It's quite nice. Bring it back on. Can't do the hold. No worries. Good luck, man. I'm going to be holding at 10,500. Let's see how it looks. Okay, that will zoom in automatically so we can see it firsthand what it's doing. Now, because this is the arrow and I don't have altitude hold on, I don't have the cheat enabled, I will have to control my altitude manually, so I'll probably have to pull up to keep my altitude in there. Getting close. Teardrop. Nice. So it's a 330 hold, was it? What did we say? Yeah, it's the 300 course outbound. So inbound it's what? 120? Yeah, 120 inbound. So 300 outbound, so that's around 270 degrees would be the teardrop. Turn left 270 and then turn around. So let's see what the indications are. Because there should be, so this leg here should be 270 and then we should turn into 120 in here and then 300, 120, 300, something like that. And because we timed it 1 minute, you can see the hold actually changes in size because it's a 1 minute hold. So if you go faster, the hold becomes bigger. Right? Because we set it that the hold is not based on distance. We set it that the hold is based on length. So you're staying in that leg for 1 minute regardless of how fast you're going. That means the hold will grow bigger or shorter, bigger or smaller depending on how fast you're going. And because our speeds are changing because of the winds, so that is kind of like a breathing holding point. I'm just not sure when it refreshes itself, but it should refresh itself automatically on its own. Baro is 3014. We'll be holding 10,500 with a 3014 altimeter setting. Yeah, someone is trying to help me out in the Pilot Edge Discord, but yeah, I don't think there will be any much thing there. Alright, here we are. Hold teardrop. So we're expecting to turn left 270. Right, just a bit to the left. We'll see how it goes. Let's zoom in here. You can see left to 266. Oh, there is a bit of like crosswind correction. So even though 270 is the track, there is a crosswind correction. So it's 266 that we're turning left to. There we go. We can see that very slight turn to the left. There it is. You can see the active leg in here now. I'll zoom in a bit just so we can see what it's doing. Like so. Can you guys see that properly in your screens? Yeah, okay, that works. Let's stick here on this view right here so we can focus on what it's doing. Hey Pokemon! Too many to mention, but glad you're here. How are you doing? There we go. So I'm actually not sure if this leg, this teardrop entry, is 1 minute long as well. I think it is. So that you're holding this track 1 minute and then turning inbound. But yeah, so far so good, right? Holding that teardrop right where it is, and if it will follow that right turn to 120, that's the inbound leg. In 10 seconds it says. So let's start turning this one so we're not confused. 120, like so. There's Gunny doing the hold as well. Let's pull up, so keep that 10,500. There, it's turning, following the magenta line perfectly so far. 10,500, that's the one. You can see the standard rate turn in here, right? It's right on that line, the standard rate turn. So depending on our speed, that's the... Oh, there is a definition for what a standard rate turn is. I think that means if you hold that level, that rate of turn, you do a 360 in 2 minutes, something like that. And that will depend, that standard rate turn will depend on how fast you are. The faster you are, the steeper that turn will be. There we go. Beautiful, right? The breathing holding pattern, now we're turning inbound. 120. Yeah, okay, good, thank you. Glad I remembered a bit of that. So yes, it follows the proper standard rate turn, and now it's overshot it a bit because the standard rate turn was not enough. So it's now going to correct and intercept that inbound course of 120, and then it goes going to turn left again after it's intercepted that. So it's adjusting on its own. It's trying to follow its best to follow that magenta holding pattern. Right. Let's do one more hold. Let's see how it does one hold, and then let's exit the pattern at the end. Right. See how that works. Also, the monument should be below if it's programmed in at all. It's saying here right to 290. Right to 290, okay. Yeah, that should be 300, but because of probably wind compensation, so 290. So yes, it's working perfectly. And this release should be available soon to the public as soon as TDS fixes the other bugs that they're planning to fix. Good. You can also see that the holding pattern is not like a perfect shape, right? It's a bit askew because I guess it compensates for the winds. I'm not really savvy enough to understand how the compensation works, but yeah, it does seem to make sense. Hey Cellabones, how are things? So yeah, working good so far. Let's hold on this leg. You know what? Let's time it. Let's time it. Let's go start a timer in here. Okay, we're on this leg now. Start up like now. Let's see if that's really 1 minute before it turns. What's quite interesting is the CDI. I'm not sure if that's intended. So we are on the outbound leg 300 or 290, whichever that is. But this one is showing we're off because this one is still showing the CDI. The track is still 120. I guess because that's the inbound track. It's only this one that's registered in the track itself, which might make sense. That might be really how it is. Yeah, they did. That's how detailed it's going. Alright, 7 seconds. It's almost 1 minute, right? Yeah, maybe they started the timer a bit earlier. And now we're turning. Yeah, that's almost 1 minute. Cool. Alright, that works. So yes, so far so good, guys. So far so good. Yeah, the processing actually isn't too bad. The PCs these days are so powerful for that already. It doesn't take so much in terms of performance anymore. And it's hardly noticeable, interestingly enough. Yeah, I think it's harder to even like render the 3D is a much bigger effort. Okay. Go to 120. Looks good. Let's look a bit downwards, see if we can find something, a monument of some sort. Although at 10,500, not really expecting that we see anything, but just in case. 120, you guys see any monuments in there? I don't see anything. Should I be looking elsewhere? There should be a Four Corners monument. I remember seeing that in a video from Aviation 101. But it might be too small to see from here. We are flying to Kayenta. I believe that's in Arizona already. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, we can actually fly nearer, maybe. So what we can do is we can now exit the hold here. Say exit hold. So the next time we fly over that user waypoint, it's going to stop and continue us on our original leg. Yeah, there we go. So now it continues to the original leg and exits the hold properly. Very cool, right? Very cool. Yeah, so that's working perfectly now. Where did we see the monument? There it is. There it is. It is in there. Nice. It's just too small. Do we have fuel? I think we have fuel. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't have exited the hold, huh? 1 second. What I can do actually is I can do another hold here. Direct hold. Just do that. Load the hold. Activate. So we'll do another hold. Switch fuel tanks, okay. And I'm doing a hold just so I can descend in place. So we can descend. Starting my descent here, pulling back on the throttle. Just so we can descend and get a better look at the monument. And this is exactly what this holding point is for. You can see even the intercept point of that holding point is plugged in, right? It's going to turn around, going to do a direct entry on that holding pattern. and it's going to keep that holding point. And that's in the meantime we will be descending. Very nice. So this should be the monument, the middle point of all 4 states. What was it again? Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. That monument right there in front, which is getting closer by the minute. Kinda really need this. It is super cool. Yeah, I hope they release it soon. Looks good so far, right? Looks pretty stable. So I think it is, from that point of view, good already. But TDS is actually adding a lot more safety precautions. Like if you have something wrong set up, or something that might cause some black screens that some people are encountering, they are adding pop-ups now. When the TDS, the GTNXi loads, there will be pop-ups if you have some wrong setups, and then it has some recommendations on how to approach that. So I think one of the examples of that is some people actually have 2 installations of MSFS. They have it from the Microsoft Store and they have it from Steam. And when that happens, the GTNXi can get confused which one to like attach to, I think, something like that. So now they have a pop-up to ask you which one you're using, and then it will attach properly. And I think that prevents some of the black screen issues that some users have been encountering. So that kind of error checking, error handling. So that's something being covered by TDS. Amazing team, and very hard at work. Even during the weekends, they were coordinating with me, helping me test out stuff. And they also improved the ILS. The ILS frequency is one of the things that have been bugged out for me. Like when you load up an ILS, there should be a frequency, and the frequency is auto-loaded in the standby nav, so in here. So if, for example, I load an ILS, the ILS frequency will be loaded here on standby. So when you're ready, when you're on the final approach, you're intercepting the ILS, you switch that to active, right? But when you do that, there was a bug where it will not get recognized. So I think some wrong programming, some variables were not being set, and that has been fixed too. So that's looking really good. Look at how beautiful this is, just doing the holding pattern. Very nice. So yeah, I don't think I will be getting any support from Pilot Edge. I think it's really my connection that is the problem. Yeah. Look at this, guys. In Volanta, it's keeping track of my breadcrumbs, right? That's how it's looking right now. We did the teardrop entry a while ago, did the holding pattern, and now we exited, and now we're doing another holding pattern, different direction now. And that's the monument right there. Nice. Hoping against all hope that I can connect. Let me just try that again, just in case. Still nothing. Okay. Crap. Maybe a simple restart will fix things, the router or whatnot. But I cannot afford that now. How low are we? Are we low enough? Let's have a look outside. Crap. And yeah, I think this is Murphy's Law at work here, because now even my controller has run out of batteries and turns off on its own after every few seconds. Okay, we're still a bit high here. I can't see the buildings yet. There it is. Getting closer. Are we still descending? Still, but very slow. Let me pull back on the throttle a bit more. There's a Four Corners monument. I had to look a while ago. I didn't see anything. What keyword did you enter? Man, I should have downloaded that. I was looking for that a while ago and I couldn't see. Turning again, 1905. And then if you get low enough, then the TOS system will let us know. It will start screaming at us, terrain, terrain. Have a good one, EDX. Have a safe day. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for flying with us. Enjoy, man. Enjoy your day. Catch you in Discord. First. Better late than never, huh? DST, I don't like it. Oh yeah, that's true. How are you doing, Scotsman? Slow down the descent a bit. Let's have a look outside. Where's the monument? There it is. Getting closer. Trains when? Soon, TM. Yeah, there it is. I wonder if that's custom building or just like a Black Shark AI kind of thing. Steam DLC comes out, maybe. I would like to, but workload is very, very heavy these days, so I can barely afford to stream. Yeah, this doesn't look good, does it? We're too low. So we should hear the toss soon. I'm just waiting to hear it, to test that feature as well, if it's still working.
Terrain ahead.
There
Terrain
it is.
ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
We're turning, thankfully.
Terrain ahead. Terrain.
Okay, it's gone. Let's do one more loop around the monument. Let's see. Reset that. Gunny is still there doing the holding pattern. We're doing that manually, Gunny. It's require a huge amount of effort. Where is the monument, guys? I keep missing it. Should be right at the midpoint. Maybe it's around there. There. Yeah, there. Okay. Right. Right, let's fly a bit here. 6,500. Looks like a reasonable altitude. Turn off the autopilot here. Let's fly on our own for a bit, just so we get a bit more freedom. Staying at 6,500-ish. Let's keep the monument to our left side. See how it looks from above. There it is. Nice. Yeah, it's not really that detailed, is it? Yeah, I'm sure it could be made much more wonderful using that custom scenery. Okay, so what we can do now is we can go direct to the airport. That's a 246 on the track. Let's go and do that. Start turning here. I think we'll actually need to climb as well. Actually descending a bit now. Let's have a look at terrain. Oh yeah, that's pretty low. Maybe 8.5 at least. Right, let's go start climbing. Let me pitch up. Full throttle, maybe RPM as well. I'm not sure which one is better for a climb. Maybe max RPM would be good too. And the mixture, let's go there. Alright. and it start climbing, pitching for 100 knots. Doing the holding pattern. The holding pattern is just a fancy way of doing U-turns in an airplane. It's basically done when you want to buy some time, when where you're going is too busy and you've been asked to do a holding pattern because where you're going there are too many planes already and they cannot accommodate anything more, so you have to hold and just go in circles. So the test was to check if the avionics, the autopilot, can handle joining, holding patterns and maintaining it properly. And initially, the first version of this avionics, they couldn't. They were going the opposite direction. It was not working well. But now they've made that proper. And it's an amazing piece of work. Yeah. Right. There is also what they call a procedure turn. Like, let's say we're going to an airport, so we're headed this way. In the airport, the runway is completely opposite us, for example. So we need to be facing the complete opposite direction so that we can land properly, right? That's the right direction. So that means you have to do a U-turn at some point, and that U-turn is called a procedure turn because there is a certain proper way of doing it to ensure that where you are doing that U-turn is a protected area. You're not going to hit obstacles, that it's an area that is known for that space where aircraft you do a U-turn. So that's something as well that is supposed to be covered by these kinds of avionics. But yeah, it's quite nice. That level of complexity is what I really enjoy in these planes. Switch to the left, looking good. Turn off that tank. 8.5, there we go. We're at 8,500 now. Nice. Trim it out. Pull back on the RPM. There you go, 2,200. Man, I was really hoping for Pilot Edge today. I was craving to speak to traffic controllers. I've been waiting for like a week to do that again, like what we did last week. It's a bit of a party pooper. Sorry about that, guys. The ISP fate is not kind on us. But we'll make do. We will make it work. At the very least, we'll land on this strip and we'll see. But at least we got to experience the upgraded autopilot. I'm hoping that will also apply soon to the public version. Keep the plane in a straight line. Yeah, they are super advanced these days. They can do all sorts of interesting legs. Like, imagine an airport that is in a valley, and to get to that airport you have to snake around the valley. There's a very famous airport. Where is that, guys? In Paro? Is that in Nepal? So the airport is right inside the valley, and you have to snake around that valley to arrive at that airport. They actually have like an approach where the autopilot can fly it automatically to snake you around the valley automatically, so that you get to the airport with minimal manual intervention. So yes, the autopilot is getting more and more advanced. Point in the way you want to go. Yes, it's also how I thought it was before, but yes, bit by bit I got exposed to the reality of things, how complex things are, and I love it. Disney's planes. Oh yeah, might be. Yeah, might be. Could be included there. Right, how long to go? 20 minutes? Okay, we're good, I think. What else haven't we tested? Let's see. Maybe I can have a look at the approaches available. Oh, we have an RNAV. What is this? Oh, we have a departure procedure. Interesting. Departure procedure. That doesn't happen often for these smaller airports. Cayenta. Okay. Let's have a look at... Am I in autopilot? No, I'm not in autopilot yet. Yeah, I'm flying this manually. Shouldn't be a problem. So we should be right... we came from the monument, which is here where my mouse is. We're going direct to the airport now, so we should be somewhere along this vicinity. There should be a mountain here. 9,400 feet, so higher than us. And I think... might be that one, huh? Yeah, it might be that area. So if you look here... yeah, it might be this one. Cool. Let's turn that on. So it follows the leg properly. Man, look at that. Beautiful. This is what I really like about this area. I normally don't like the deserty vibes. I like more lush places with trees and green and life and everything. But these contours, these textures really are quite amazing. And I've gotten a newfound respect for flying in these areas. It can be quite interesting how the landscape varies. I have no explanation of why they look like that, but I just know they look cool. Ah, crap. My controller does not turn on anymore. Okay, I have to use my keyboard here. That's okay, we can make it work. We work with what we have, right? There it is. Beautiful. Look at that. Almost looks fake. But I bet that's how it looks in real life. Hey, Rook. With the blues in the hills. How are you doing, man? Glad you could join today. How are things at work? Have many deliveries recently? My goodness. Not sure when you joined. If you just joined now, I was actually planning on flying in Pilot Edge, but my internet connection does not agree with me at the moment. I can't even connect to Sky Vector. Yeah, there are some specific sites I don't have access to, and I don't have an explanation why. Dang it, still cannot connect. Let me try Sky Vector. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Someone messed up overnight, I think. Maybe they did a change behind the scenes and it messed up some of the DNS settings. The Sierras. Oh, where is that? Is that like in California? Like Sierra Nevada? It's like that? That's where I hear the Sierra from. And yes, I would love to fly there. That's actually the main purpose why I did this. So what I mentioned, right? We started on the East Coast in Boston, made our way west bit by bit, and now we're here in Arizona. I think we should be in Arizona now, right? We've passed the 4 corners, so we should be in Arizona now. And yeah, my plan is to go all the way to the west, starting here, where we have Pilot Edge coverage, and fly anywhere in this area with proper rules and proper communications with really how it's done in real life. Internet has been funky these days. Entire 5G network disappear. My goodness. Yeah, I was checking Sky Vector the other day and it was fine. But just today it's not. Hate it. Runs up the middle of California. Hey beer. Welcome back, man. How are you doing? Things at work are rolling along. Yes, I'm sure they are. Cool. Quite a few loads since we last spoke. The fuel pump on your diesel APU stopped doing its job. Not fixed. Good to hear. How are the diesel prices doing? I think it's still pretty high, right? I saw a news that the prices are super high, and even with the oil prices going down, the fuel prices have not followed suit yet. That might come in a few days. Eastish side of California down to Nevada. Nice. Oh, right. Yes, that is the one I'm familiar with. Because that is in ATS as well, in American Truck Sim. Sierra Nevada. Looks very good. I want to fly there soon. They're pretty high, over $5 per gallon most places. How was it before? Because what I'm familiar with is in the Philippines. In the Philippines, my goodness. In the Philippines, I think they'll have problems displaying the price soon enough. Because you know how it is, right? With the gas stations, and then they have this kind of like vertical column and the entrance where they have all the prices listed. And in those prices, they only have 4 digits. So they have 2 digits for the whole number, and they have 2 digits for the decimal point. We're getting to that point where I think they'll need 3 digits for the whole number, because the prices will go to the hundreds of pesos. Right now it's I think around 80, 90 pesos. Before it was only 50. So the price is almost going double now. So they might need more digits there, or they might need to cut off a decimal point, a decimal place. Goodness. So hopefully the prices normalize soon. Didn't buy diesel before. I think it was always a little more expensive than gasoline. I had the impression that diesel should be cheaper. At least it was during my time when I was still driving. That's why diesel was so... diesel cars were so famous. Because it was cheaper and the consumption was lower, things like that. But yeah, I'm not sure how things are these days. How they've progressed, how they've changed. Let's have a look. Should we switch frequencies? Fake frequencies. So if you look at that frequency here, 118.575, we're here. Maybe we should tune into 127.55 now. Getting close to Kayenta. 127.55, let's do that. Good. And then we'll have to look at the winds here. There should be an AWOS, Automated Weather Observation System, which we can tune into. So normally if you tune into 119.325, we should hear that robotic voice, which tells us the winds, the weather at this airport. But that's not really well implemented in the sim. So what we can do is find a nearby airport, which is like this one. This is Page in Arizona as well. And it says 020 at 4 knots. Okay, so winds coming from the northeast. 3007 altimeter. 3007, I think we'll need to back it down a bit. Like so. Let's do the same here on the standby. Like so. And then let's climb back to 8,500. There's less car reliance. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is, at least in the Philippines, work from home is starting to get removed again, because the companies, where the companies are based, like the buildings where the companies are situated in, they have like deals where, okay, you put your company here and I will give you a discount on the lease, on the tax, or whatever kind of deal that is, but you have to choose to stay here, right? Your office has to be here, because that means if the office is there, then the employees are there, and that means the economy in that area will be good, because the restaurants can pop up, coffee shops, and all kinds of other services, right? But if people are working from home, then the businesses that are placed there would have no income. So it kind of is a bad place there, and the deal they have with the company is you have to stay here because we need your business, right? So now the work from home is starting to get removed because now they're saying there's no more pandemic, people can go out again, and now you have to follow our deal again, right? So that the businesses around that area will not suffer. So now people have to go to the office bit by bit, and perfect timing, now the prices are going high with the fuel. So it's not really a good spot at the moment. Worst timing ever. Yeah, all the businesses around the businesses, exactly. Right, trying to force people back in the office. Yeah, because the landlords of the office spaces, the businesses around the office spaces, they're all interconnected, right? So it's going to be hard to just switch in a snap to work from home if it's not really necessary. Before it was necessary because of health concerns. Now it's a bit more less critical, so now they can push more that you have to go to the office and things like that. VATSIM ATC certificate, hey, wow, that is amazing, Rook. Yeah, let me know when you have a schedule and I'll try to join you. It would be cool to be taxiing and getting your instructions. Yes, that's amazing, man. Good luck, and super proud of you that you're going through all of that. I mean, I would be, for lack of a better term, pissing in my pants if I was the one doing that. So huge props to your bravery. Oh, sorry to hear that, Pokemon. Yeah, definitely, especially in Singapore, right? We have numbers going a bit lower but still very high, and it's more likely than ever that people will catch it. But it's great to hear that you've recovered. Are you okay now? Are you able to go out and about? Hopefully you're feeling better. Look at this one. What is this? Looks like a dried up lake. Very interesting. Can we see that in the map? Maybe. 1 second, where is this? San Juan River is there on to our north, so and we're here below. Okay, so let's have a look at the map. Let's go and look for San Juan River. I see some rivers. San Juan River, this one. Yes. Shiprock. Oh, Shiprock again. That's, I think, what Gunny was pointing to us. So look at the edge of that San Juan River where it bends. San Juan River where it bends would be around... No, that's not it. Because we are past the border already, so it should be somewhere here. San Juan River, if we trace that through... Oh, it's getting smaller and smaller. I don't know how to trace that. Yeah, but we should be closer now. Should be very close. Anyway, let me plug in here. 122.9 would be the CTAF, Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. That's the one we have to tune in. If we're going to announce that we are nearby. We are 20 miles from the airport, so when we are around 15 or 10 miles, I'll switch there and announce that we are nearby. It might be this one. Hanging out with your dog all day. Oh my goodness, that must be the most amazing experience. Yeah, I can imagine. How do you... Yes, same for me. I actually prefer a hybrid setup. I've been working from home for almost 9 years now, and it's great. So much free time. But I'm 9 years doing this, kind of crave for a bit of more human face-to-face interaction. And especially with the pandemic, I was not able to go home to the Philippines. I was not able to travel around. So I've literally been inside the house like everyone else. And add the entire work from home for 9 years setup there, I'm really craving for some face-to-face. So I'm really into that hybrid setup. I don't like to be in the office always, but a little bit in between I think would be the perfect balance. Really great ATC program. Oh, how long is it taking you? How long does it take normally to go through the program? Yeah, hybrid arrangement. I really like that. You're okay now. Okay. Just a slight cough and runny nose. Yeah, that's true. I've had that a couple of times as well. I've tested and so far it's negative. But yeah, it could be that I actually got it already. Maybe I got the symptoms. Sure thing, Rook. Yeah, that's amazing. Sorry, the Discord link doesn't work anymore. We removed it because of trolls. If you're not yet in Discord, you can shoot me a mail and I'll give you the link, the current link that updates every it's a temporary link. Exclamation point email. It's in my email address. If you like your co-workers, it makes it easier to go into the office. That's very true. Yes. I sure hope that's the case. Look at the textures here. Right. Amazing. Sure thing, man. Alright, 15 miles. Let's go and switch. Actually, what will we be doing? We haven't even discussed the approach yet. Well, it's a great day outside. We don't really need to fuss about it so much. So we have a 05 or 27. 05 or 23 rather. And I think we can do a visual on 05. Let's load that. No vertical guidance. Interesting. There might be terrain here. Interesting. Okay. Let's have a look at the airport. Runway 0523. Left traffic. Do we have charts? We don't have charts. It's a very small airport. Yeah, why don't we have vertical guidance in runway 5? First time I've seen that. It looks like this airport is right outside Kayenta. This should be the city itself, right? The yellow areas are the what do you call it? The settlements, the cities themselves. Okay, so let's announce instead. Maybe we'll do a. So what's the elevation of that one? 5,600. Okay, we can start descending to around 1,500 feet above. Around 7.2. 7.5. Yeah, let's descend to 7.5. Let's cross midfield. And then let's join the left downwind for runway 5. Okay, let's do that. So let's announce if we do this. So we'll say something like this. Kayenta traffic, arrow 4131 Charlie. 10 miles to the northeast. Crossing midfield to join the downwind for runway 05. Left downwind, runway 05, Kayenta. Something like that, I guess, would be enough. But yeah, it might be. Yeah, I see the airport. And I see why runway 5 might be problematic because we have a cliff right there. But it actually might not be too bad. We might have enough space just to navigate around it. Let's turn off the autopilot here. I get a bit more fun. Little bit of waiting list. A week to complete the initial paperwork and testing. My goodness. 3 to 6 months waiting for training with an instructor, depending on 1 to 2 months to get your class Charlie and Delta ground delivery slip. Oh my goodness. Wow. That takes a whole ton. Wow. Well, yes, I'd be happy to support you in your shifts, getting some experience guiding planes around. So yes, let us know in Discord, and we'll try and join you when we can. Alright, Pokemon, enjoy. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate the company, and yes, glad to know you're better, feeling better. Stay safe, man. Catch you soon. Class Bravo ground and Class Bravo tower, then approach, then center. Ah, that makes sense. So by the time you reach center, you get access to center frequency. That means you should be able to know all the other things as well. Alright, that's true, because it's a, what do you call it? Bottom up kind of thing, right? So if you're at the top, you have to be able to control the bottom layers as well. So that makes sense as you start in ground. How about the delivery? Okay, ground and delivery, more of the same. I see. You'll have a good amount of ATC time under your belt before you get that far. I see. Cool. It's good to know. Okay, so let's stay at 7,500. And then we'll cross midfield here. We'll cross the airport, cross the runway, and then join the left downwind for runway 5. I have a bad feeling about runway 5 though, because it does look like, even though there are mountains there, it kind of looks like the ground itself is kind of climbing up, right? Maybe that's why there is no glide slope. So that might be a bad sign already. If you look here, oh yeah, look at that. That's red right there. So maybe runway 5 is not ideal actually. Yeah, maybe let's do a runway 23. Let's do that. Kayenta traffic, Arrow 4131 Charlie, we changed our minds. Going for the straight in for runway 23. 4 miles, 4 mile final. Kayenta. Have their hands full, I see. Alright, speed check. Below, okay. Lower our gear here. Pull back on the throttle. Get our switches on. Alright, let's do our checks. Gas, fuel pumps are on. Fullest tank, undercarriage, we have 3 greens. And I will extend my flap shortly. Mixture, we can't go full rich because of the elevation, so let's leave it there. Props full forward, switches are good. Alright, good for landing. Now we have to deploy flaps and make sure we're lined up here. Remove the terrain warning because it's the lights, the colors, because it's scary. Okay, in the traffic, Arrow 4131 Charlie, short final, runway 23, full stop.
500.
Alright, that looks good. Can make that work. No wonder there is no glide path for the visual approach on runway 25. Looking good. Trimming up. Bit forward on the fuel, on the throttle rather. There we go. Bit low. Oof. Goodness. There we go. Slowly beat that back. That's a beautiful view of the cliffs there. The mesas there. Floating a bit. Leave it there. There you go. Beautiful. Alright. And let's just taxi all the way straight. Where the... I'm not sure actually if there is like a taxiway, or is this a runway all throughout? Water! Thank you. Thankfully we have great weather, so not a big problem at the moment. I'm not sure if we have anything in here. Don't think so, huh? Yeah, I think we'll have to just exit through on the side. And that looks amazing. Welcome to Kayenta, guys. What about there? Is there something there? Oh, there is something there, I think. Okay, let's try to get to the end and see. Hey, how to fly. Thank you. Glad you guys didn't get bumped around so much. Good, turn off the fuel pump. Let's go, just go to that house there maybe. Bit more informal welcome. Yeah, they're there. Yeah, they're there. Okay. There is a taxiway getting out. Okay, good, good. There is a ramp. There is actually a ramp at the end of the runway. Nice. Glad we continued. How's the weather here? 19 degrees, 18 degrees. Pretty comfortable to open that up. Wait, let's exit through here. There they are. Beautiful sounds. Actually sounds a bit different. There we go. And let's announce again. Flaps up. Kayenta traffic, arrow 4131 Charlie, clear off the runway. Taxiing to the ramp. Kayenta. Good. You even have a marshal alert. Fancy. This is the plane from Just Flight. This is the Just Flight Arrow. Arrow 3. Carinado also has an arrow, but it's not the one I'm using. I'm more fond of the Just Flight versions. Good, looks good there. Strobes going off, landing lights as well. Nav lights going off. Panel lights and everything else looks good. Right, let's turn off the avionics. Got the mixture. Good, propeller, beacons, and magnetos, don't forget. Turn those off. Alternator and battery. Looking good there. And let's deliver our goods. Right. Look at our breadcrumbs. The holding pattern we've done. Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Oh, and this is 3D as well. So if we look here, if we rotate this one, yeah. The holding pattern we did here, the second one, is actually like, oh, it disappeared. It actually shows the altitude going lower and lower. Quite nice. Okay. Review the flight. 22? That real? 22 feet per minute? I'll take that. Thank you. Well, I won't reject it. Okay, good. So we got paid. That's good. I will go ahead and try and fix things on my end. Thank you guys for hanging out with me despite the technical difficulties. Sorry we couldn't get Pilot Edge today. Hopefully, I find a long-term solution. I'll have to get in touch with my ISP, I think. We'll end the stream here so I can get to fixing stuff. Thanks for joining. And there's Gunny right there. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Gunny. Sorry I didn't see you land. Thank you for flying with me. Appreciate the company. And chat, thank you for the company as well. So have a good day. Have a great night wherever you are. And catch you in 2 days for some trucking. Thank you. Alright, and you can catch each other on Discord in the meantime. Have a good one. Stay safe and clumsy flying. Bye-bye.